Hello, hey, my name is John Verver, and this is my video for the project that I'd like to do on Kickstarter and get funded through Kickstarter. The project name is called Silex. There's nothing behind that. It was just some weird name I came up with while playing World of Warcraft. So the project is actually a software project. It is not a website or anything like that. What I would like to do is make what I believe to be the first truly visual GUI point-and-click database. I got this idea some time ago. I was actually taking discrete mathematics and databases in college, and it I asked myself, why do we have to do all this crazy SQL querying and things like that? And once you're good at it, it's fine. You can do it really quickly, and it's no big deal. But to the average human being on the street is not a programmer. They don't think like us. They don't, and that's fine. But I mean, they're just not going to be able to manage a MySQL database very easily. And I also thought about small business owners, being that I'm a former small business owner, and I remember I didn't have a computer at the time. I had all these pieces of paper all over the place, and it was just a pain in the butt. And so nowadays you have MySQL, you have a SQL, Microsoft SQL Server and things like that. You also have MongoDB. You have Access if you're a small business, which makes me cringe because Access is a pain in the butt. But you really don't have anything that's GUI driven, that's a database. And I mean, there's a couple reasons for that, and I think part of it is that you can keep the load of the program down by not having a GUI and simply running it all from text, and that's fine. But with the types of computers we have today, we're all rocking 3 terabyte hard drives and things like that, and we have crazy PCs or CPUs, I should say, rather, in our computers that can do just about anything, about 50 things at one time, all really, really fast. I don't think that's a concern anymore. So I was sitting there the other day, and the idea popped back up in my head, and I said, why not just give it a shot? Jump on Kickstarter, see if I can get people to back me on this. It's not going to just be myself. It'll be once I have a team fully formed. I have a couple guys online right now. It should be about 5 people, 6 people, including myself. So it shouldn't be something that's insurmountable, and I think we can get it done. There's languages out there that just are absolutely wonderful and will allow us to get the application as light as humanly possible and run really quickly and be really useful. What I would love is for this to initially, after funding from Kickstarter, to have a product that, actually a software application that runs on the desktop that will cater to individuals and small business users. And then after that, hopefully there's some buzz around this, which I truly believe there will be once it's finished, and then we can go enterprise with the whole thing. My thought on this whole thing is that what do we do all day with our computers? What do we do all day with our iPads, our phones, etc.? We point and click. We move stuff around with our finger. Everything's visual, except for Siri. But I mean, everything's visual. We point and click all day long. We're used to it. That's what we do. When we're little kids in kindergarten, the teacher asked us to separate, I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go, but the teacher asked us to separate the blocks by shape, by color, by something, that's what we're used to. That's what we do. And the way it stands right now, if you want to start a database, you gotta do all this stuff, and if you're used to it, it's easy. Well, not easy, but to but it's if you're used to it, it's not a big deal. But if you're not used to it, say you're a small business owner of a restaurant and you have 15 employees and you don't want to pay for Access, Microsoft Access. Okay, you want to just do this by yourself. You need to get MySQL, which I love MySQL. It's great. It has its purpose. But you need to get MySQL, and then you probably need to go through about 3 or 4 tutorials, and then you need to read a book, and then maybe you'll get it right. Maybe. I mean, the whole concept of primary, foreign keys, etc., is quite frankly foreign to other people. So my thought is make this visual, make it easy for the average user to use. Simple as pulling templates, if you will, or blank templates or tables into what would be your main database area, and say, if we make it touch screen at some point, you could have in the middle just a circle with that's your main database, and then you slide in some employee tables, slide in department tables, slide in salaries, and then you can drill down into it, and you can add features like if you happen to, I don't know, sell extremely weird fish. You can have all the fish names in there. You can relabel things, do all that stuff, but it comes as a GUI and it gets people engaged immediately. Our aim is for the average person who knows nothing about databases to be able to make their own database, customized and all, within 30 minutes. The querying will come later, will be a little more difficult for people, but we're still going to try to keep that visual aspect to the querying of our databases. So essentially, I have a big database. I want to find an employee who makes a certain salary, so I pull those 2 tables out, they get melded together, and then I want a salary range of such and such, and maybe we can type that in, that kind of thing. You'll get the general idea. But the hope here is that we can bring databases to the masses like we've brought other things to people, like the point and click. I mean, if you remember IBM and Apple IIe's, you had to know the commands for everything, you had to type it all in, etc. Next thing you know, out comes the GUI operating system, and we all get to do it. We don't have to know anything. We just get to use our computers. Same difference here. We get to use our DVAs. We don't need to know a whole bunch of stuff. Will it help if we read the instruction manual? Of course, but it's not necessary. That's the aim here. There's millions of people with tons of data, and it's not only for enterprise people. Small businesses, individuals, everybody out there has data that they need to use. And analytics companies will enjoy this because they have a new crop of people that will want analytics on their business or whatever their own little project is, etc. So we can provide more analytics out there for the analytics companies. We can provide a basis for people to actually get down and use a database that actually works quickly, and it provides the information they need. And that's what this project is about. Currently, I have a couple other people on board with this. One guy's been doing software engineering for 20-25 years. He's a great guy, knows tons. There's myself and then one other person that went through a master's program. We plan on bringing on another 3 or 4 people to help us program. There's going to be some issues, some scale issues at first, because I'm sure we'll start small, work our way up. That can't be overcome as long as, I think we're using correct platforms, POS, SaaS, things like that. We'll implement those into our software model. We'll try to be as agile as possible and push out versions as much as possible. And some of the rewards that we're going to have to, as incentives for people to fund our project is beta versions of the product right before we're going to release for people to check out and see if, you know, really get a handle on it before anybody else does. People that offer up, I don't know, 20, 40 bucks. We're going to offer a community version. It's people that give a little more, we're going to offer a community version. Plus, we're going to do some closed private webinars and work people through things if they need any help. They shouldn't need too much, being that it's all visual. Just some things like that we're going to try to do to help the people that helped us as incentives. And it's going to be a great project. I'm super excited about it. I know that it's going to change some things in the software database world, and I really thank you from all of us here at Silex that you would consider funding our project. It's worthwhile. They're on my page, silex.com. I haven't put up the Kickstarter actual description yet. I'll do that in the next day or so. But if you want to ask me a question, feel free. There's a contact page there. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you, or somebody else will. That's about it, really. This will be a success, and you'll be happy that you went ahead and you gave some money to it. Again, I can't thank you enough for helping fund our project, and that's it. You'll hear more from us soon.